Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel RP's Logos. Today I'm going to show you how to make this abstract double triangle vector using Inkscape. Okay, first open Inkscape and open the fill and stroke menu and align and distribute menu. Okay, now first thing I'm going to do is draw a triangle. Okay, for this click on this create stars and polygon icon and make sure that you have clicked on this regular polygon and make sure that the corners is 3. Okay, now press Ctrl and Shift and make a perfect triangle. Okay, it should be placed like this. Okay, now press Shift and click here to remove any strokes, and let me reduce the opacity to around half, and just click here to lock this icon and change this to pixels, and we'll change the width of this to 250 pixels. Okay, now let me zoom in a bit. Okay, now press Ctrl D to duplicate it. Okay, now let me change the color of this triangle to something else. And next thing, use your right arrow key on your keyboard and move this right 20 times. Okay, just use your right arrow key. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, once you do that, click on this draw Bezier curves and straight lines icon, and before that you have to click here as well to enable snap to cusp nodes. Okay, enable this and just click here once and click here and then click here and click here and complete this path. Okay, okay, once you do that, fill this. I'm going to use this maroon color and then press Shift and click here to remove the strokes. Okay, now let me reduce the opacity of this new piece by around half, and let me press Ctrl D to duplicate it. Let me change the color of this to say yellow, and I'll place this here. I'll be using this later. Okay, now just press Ctrl D again and let me change the color of this to green. Click here once, and so that you'll see this rotational handles. Press Ctrl and rotate it 4 times to right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now use this icon here, flip this vertically. Okay, once. Okay, now place it like this, not like this. Okay, place it like this. Okay, now press Ctrl D to duplicate it again. Let me change the color of this to something else, and let me click here once again to see this rotational handles. Press Ctrl and move it right 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now place it here, and with this already selected, press Shift and select this maroon piece. Go to Path, Difference. Okay, now click this maroon piece and Shift and select this green piece. Go to Path, Union. Okay, so once we have done the union, let me move this aside and let me move this one also aside. I will concentrate on this right now. Now press Ctrl D to duplicate it. Okay, let me change the color of this to say blue and click once again to see the rotational handles. Press Ctrl and rotate it right to 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now place it until it snaps. See, it snapped perfectly here. Now click on this maroon piece, press Ctrl D, click once again to see the rotational handles. Now this time you'll rotate it left 8 times. Okay, press Ctrl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now let me change the color of this to something else, and this time I will snap it here. See, it snaps perfectly. So now we have made this shape here. So this is the shape which we have made. We'll color it later. So let me select everything and let me group it. Once I group it, let me move it aside. Okay. Now we'll use this triangle and we'll change the width of this to, see, the width was 250. Now we'll change to 750. Okay. We'll do the same thing here. 750. Which should be 750. Now with this already selected, press shift and select this, and we'll align this center on vertical axis and center on horizontal axis. Okay. Now this time what we are going to do is we are going to draw this piece. Okay. So that's why we increase the size to 750. We'll do the same thing which we did earlier. So with this already selected, use your right arrow key and move it right 20 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. Now use the Bezier pen. Click here once. Click here. Click here. Click here. And complete the path. Okay. Now select this and fill this with same, let's say, maroon color. Press shift and click here to remove the strokes, and let me reduce the opacity to around half. Okay. Now press Ctrl D to duplicate it. Click here once. Again, rotational handles. Move it right 8 times. 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll give the, we'll place it, we'll flip it here vertically and place it like this. Change the color of this to something else. Now click here, press Ctrl D and move it right 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll change the color of this to something else and place it like this. With this already selected, press shift and select this maroon piece, path, difference. Okay, just like what we did last time. Select this maroon piece and this olive piece, go to path, union. Okay, now click on this triangle which we made earlier and we'll delete this. We don't need this now. We'll do the same thing with this. We'll delete this by pressing the delete key. Okay, now let me press Ctrl D to duplicate it. Okay, click once, see the rotation handles, move it right 8 times. Okay, press Ctrl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll change the color of this to green, just like we gave it. Sorry, we'll change the color of this to blue. See, same thing which we gave here. It will snap perfectly here. See, it snaps perfectly. And we'll select this again. Press Ctrl D to duplicate it. Now this time, click once and rotate it left 8 times. Okay, press Ctrl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now change the color of this and we'll again snap it perfectly. Now we'll select everything and we'll group it. Okay, now what we have to do is this triangle piece should be aligned perfectly in the middle of this triangle. See, this is what we are going to do, but we'll see there is a problem here. Let me show you what will happen. Now with this selected, I'll press shift and select this, and let me align it. Now center on vertical axis. Sorry. Let me first select this and press shift and select this and center on vertical axis. And now I'll click this to center on horizontal axis. But it doesn't center on horizontal axis. It's not like this in this photo. See, this has to be somewhere here. And the reason why it's not perfectly centering it is because even though when we look at this photo, it looks as if it's a triangle, but actually Inkscape considers this as a rectangle or a square. See this dotted path. That's how Inkscape interprets this shape. That's the same with this shape also. Even though we see it as a triangular shape, Inkscape considers this as a rectangle or a square. See these dotted lines. So what Inkscape's algorithms is trying to do is center this piece and this piece. So according to its algorithm, it works perfectly, but actually what we were trying to do is we want to center it. It should be in the center of this shape. It should, but it's not working. So there may be so many different ways to solve this issue, but right here I'm going to show you one of the ways which I have found. This may not be the perfect way, but this is the trick which I'm going to use. Okay, so for this, what I'll do is I'll click here to create rectangles and squares, and I will draw a rectangle. Okay, now let me change the color of this to something else. And once I draw this, click here and I'll select this big triangle. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'll come here and I'll see what's the height of this. It's showing 718.803. So what I'll do is I'll use a calculator and I'll find 1/4 of this value. Okay, so I'll divide this 718 by 4. I'll ignore the decimal points. Okay, so use a calculator, and 718 divided by 4 is 179.5. Again, I'll ignore this decimal point, so 179. So let me minimize this and I'll click here and I'll change the height of this to 179. Okay, before this, make sure that you click here to unlock this. We don't need the lock anymore, and we'll change this to 179. Okay, so once we have got the height of this new rectangle which we have created, let me bring it here, somewhere here, and I'll press shift and select this big triangle and I'll align bottom edges. Okay, that's it. Now next thing what I'll do is I'll select this small triangle here and I'll ungroup it. Okay, ungroup selected. Now next thing what I'm going to do is I'll select this piece. Not this piece, not this maroon piece, but this piece here, and don't move it. Just press shift and select this new rectangle which we have created now, and click this align top edges of the object to bottom edge of the anchor. Sorry, not that, made a mistake. I think you should click here, this one. Yeah, this is the one which you should be clicking. align bottom edges of the object to the top edge of the anchor. See, now this piece has moved down here. Once we do this, we don't need this piece here, this rectangle. We'll move this and we'll delete it. Okay, now we will use this and we'll snap it just like that we did last time. We will use this and we'll snap it as well. See, now it has moved perfectly in middle of this bigger triangle. Now it's time to use this piece here. We'll click once, press Ctrl, and let me move it to right 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, now what we are going to do is we are going to make this piece here. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So we'll place it here like this. Okay, once we did this, we will click here. We will ungroup this piece as well. Okay, ungroup this. Now we'll click this part, this pinkish looking part, and we'll press Ctrl D to duplicate it. Press Shift and select this yellow piece. Go to Path, Difference, Path, Break Apart. Now press Shift and click here so that this part is deselected, and whatever piece remaining we'll just delete it. Okay, now again click here and select this. Press Ctrl D to duplicate it, and we'll change the color of this to say green, and we will place it here. It's not snapping, so we'll click here, snap to path intersections once. We'll click that once and you see it snaps perfectly. So now what we have to do is click on this blue piece. See, the fill is blue. This blue piece here of the bigger triangle. Press Ctrl D to duplicate it. Press Shift and select the new green piece. Path, Difference, Path, Break Apart. Press Shift and deselect this piece. So whatever piece remaining, we'll just press Delete and remove it. Okay. Now click here and Shift and select this green piece, green part also, and we'll group it. Okay. Now once after grouping, we'll just press Ctrl D to duplicate it. Click once to see the rotational handles and move it right 8 times. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now place it here. Okay. Press Ctrl D. Click again once. Rotate it 8 times to the right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once we do this, we'll place it here until it snaps perfectly. So now everything is snapped. Okay. So we'll select everything, and the only thing remaining is coloring. Okay. So before that, let me ungroup it a few times, and we'll click here and increase the opacity to 100%. Okay. The only thing remaining is coloring. So like this, I have given here a red color and then a dark red color and a light red color. So we'll do the same thing here. We'll click here and let me change the color of this to red, and we'll change this to maroon, which I think it's already maroon, and we'll click here and we'll give this maybe this color, light one, FFAAA. Okay. So now again we'll do the same thing. We'll change this to red. This is already maroon. We'll change this color to this same color. Okay. Now this piece, this light red color, you should follow. It should be following to this piece here. So we'll click on this yellow piece. We'll give it the same color. Okay. See, now this piece, it's one complete path. Okay. We'll do the same thing here. We'll change this color to red. We'll change this color to maroon. Okay. I will click here. This color should be same as this maroon, and this color should be same as this red. Here it should be same as this light color. See, now we have completed our shape. We'll select everything and we'll group it. So that's all folks. In case you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you.